Okay, this is my review, my thinking on the Lee seating die. Obviously, you've seen on my, if you watched my other previous video, I talked about this thing being junk. Well, I still don't think it's the greatest thing in there is, but the photo I put in my video showing it way off center, that wasn't correct in a way, because I hadn't even taken this die apart to really look at it and investigate it. Did not know it was a floating stem in there, so it just floats around like that, and that's why it looked off center while it was sitting in there. Okay, so why is it seating bullets crooked? Some suggested, well, maybe it's just hanging on the powder coating, and actually that's a really nice contour in there, and it's got a hole in it way deep so it can't touch even the sharpest spear point. It's really nice. It's actually nice and smooth. Now here's my theory on it. Like I say, this is my opinion, but if you got that, if this piece is sitting in there like that, say you got it set up to where it's like that, and that bullet comes in there, let me grab this. I don't know if I can do it. Let me just do it like this. Look how crooked that is right there. And as it goes in, if it never straightens up to be totally straight up and down in here, well, it's going to cock your bullet off to the side. There's no way around it. I mean, yes, this has a pilot hole in it in a way. It should line up in there going into that. It's kind of a neat design, but at the same time, it's like, well, that you just, if it gets, the bullet gets started crooked or anything, it's not going to ever straighten it back up. Anyway, I've got a couple of things I've been looking at. One is to take a piece of business card and wrap around it, and I'll show you a video of that a little bit. Here's something else I figured. This is a business card. This way. Fits in there. Still got a little bit of play in it. Also had some electric tape, 3 rounds of electric tape. Here's one method. That's exactly 3 rounds of tape, of electrical tape. It's still loose, so it still has a little play, but it's holding it up straight. Anything that will keep this thing straight in there would be great. It could, as long as it's got a little bit of float, that's fine, but something that keeps it closer to center. This starting off at an angle like that, it's never gonna get right. Let me here. upside down. That thing has never, once it hits bottom right there, can it ever get to straight again? I don't think it would. And that's the reason you get run out in it. Hey, look at that. If the bullet ever started crooked, it never can straighten itself up. So, I don't know. I think could do different things. Like say, I'll show you a little bit of my electrical tape one and business card one. I was thinking maybe an O-ring, but I couldn't find an O-ring that will work. So anyway, I personally, I've had a couple of people comment, and I've seen a couple other places where after starting to research it, people were saying that, well, especially the any spear point, they have problems with it. If it's a flat nose, they usually have fine, which makes sense because you're squaring up on that end, and it goes straight up. So, all right, decide for yourself. Myself, I've already got an RCBS coming, so that's the way I'm thinking.